and just be more of who they really want to be versus, you know, what the world's told them that they had to be. That's part of our purpose, right? To bring healing to people in a very unique way. And so when people see us putting all these things together, buying this equipment, you know, shopping on Amazon, getting all this stuff on the table, it looks like a mess, moving things, moving there. Not only that, you're learning how to use software, you're learning how to manage sound and come up with topics and just involving yourself with other people that will help bring more substance to your life. Other people start looking at you like, what are you doing? You're doing way too much. Why are you getting involved with other people? Why are you buying all these things? You're spending money, and it goes back to like the quote unquote being too busy learning how to do all these things like video and photography and audios, like right. But you know what, that's when you have to remind yourself, this is part of my purpose. And this is it. I may not really feel in this moment that I understand what this is going to amount to, but I know that it's part of my purpose, and I'm still right. It feels right, and I'm still gonna do it no matter what other people say.
Yeah. Well, I think we hold on to what other people say.
Oh yes.
I noticed that probably when I did my first speaker competition, everybody was like, "You look skinny. You look too thin. We're really worried about you." And I think that Amanda and I were talking about this the other day. It goes back to like people accept you for who you were, and they're comfortable with that. And then when you start changing, that's like that makes them less uncomfortable. Or Amanda, talk a little bit more about what we were discussing the other day.
Yeah, whenever it comes to, because we talk about a lot of stuff, Sarah.
I know, right? I know.
I don't know how far you want to go with this. Are you talking about like the competition, like how all the judgment and everything?
More like how we can be a part of a group of people, and how when we start changing, they don't feel as comfortable with, and how when we start changing, they don't feel as comfortable as with who we are anymore, and what that looks like, and how we can approach that to our best way. And you were just talking about love and
yeah, and that's exactly what we were talking about, is when you come across those conflicts with people, because there are conflicts when you start changing, and there's people, why are you doing that? You know, what do you think that's going to do for putting this podcast together, like spending the time? I am so thankful to have the support of Alex right now, my spouse, just in case nobody's like, who's Alex? But because to take the time to be here, he could be like, what are you doing? It's not even making you any money. Why are you spending your time doing that? And he's not, because we've come to, you know, a growth together. But there are people in our lives that as we're changing, there's resistance there. You know, people are going to want you to stay the same. You know, if you're used to going out on the weekends and partying, or, you know, doing certain things, or taking trips on, you know, out of town with people, and they're like, well, why can't you do that? Well, I'm saving money, or I'm changing. I want to better my life. I don't want to go out on the weekends. I want to,
You're
no fun, like all these things. And the you know, getting too skinny, or I've had the reverse effect too. Oh my gosh, you're putting on a lot of weight. You're not as toned as you used to be. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, how do I deal with this? And one thing that Sarah and I were talking about is what I have learned to help me the very most is just sending people love. Just love, because I feel like love is like the most powerful energy, and that is what we are, like the core of our being is love. So whenever people start the attacks or the, you know, why are you doing this, it's like, just love them. If you love them, it just makes you feel different.
Yes, I remember I was focusing so much of my energy on like convincing them, or trying for them to understand, because I wanted to be understood so much. Right. And eventually you just have to be like, hey, like they're in a different place, they're doing their thing, and I'm doing mine, and I can love them, and they don't have to be on the same page as me, but I'm gonna keep, you know, put my head down and keep grounding, and they're gonna do their thing, and we're gonna be happy, la-di-da, you know. But like, stop putting all your energy in that and start putting your energy on getting shit done, and you'd be surprised at how much quicker you can expedite the process, right?
And there's oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was actually gonna derail. It has to do with that same feeling, but. For all you single ladies out there who spend so much time trying to find the one or the right guy, you go out on all these dates, and you have a good time, you come back, and then nothing happens, right? Like they don't call you back, or you try contacting them back again.
It's the same with business.
Yeah, it's sales. Everything is a sale, right? Most things in life are a sale. And you just like beat yourself up. You spend just so much energy just trying to figure out like, what did I do wrong? And you know, I've been there, you know. So what helped me is very similar to what you're saying. Is like, I just have to understand that these people are in a different mindset. They're in a different state. What we shared together was beautiful, whether if it was one date, you know, we went out a couple times, the moments that we had were good. Take those, build those into your being, and then just release, because it wasn't meant to be. Don't beat yourself up. It wasn't you. There's nothing wrong with you.
Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. It's just that everyone's in a different mindset, in a different place, and it wasn't meant to be. Take what was beautiful from it, take it with you, and then just go.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine, Tabitha, shout out, and I was telling her sometimes I get so aggravated because people come to me with certain situations and wanting to grow or wanting to evolve or wanting to do better, and then when you can give them tangible advice or help them to have further insight, they don't really hold themselves accountable, and that's hard for me. I've been there, but it's hard for me to understand at this point in my life. And she said, and I said, I really wish that I wasn't like that, and I could be more like a Buddhist monk, you know. And she goes, well, a Buddhist monk is sitting on the hill meditating, and people have to walk up that hill to get to that person. So why are you putting so much energy into finding these people or doing that for them when really they could just come to you when they're ready?
That's true. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's so deep.
It's deep.
Yeah, so wow, so many awesome points, so many nuggets of knowledge. Big name drops. Joe Dispenza. Who else did we mention? We talked about Ben Bergeron. He's more of a CrossFit, but he's a huge just source of knowledge. And if you've never heard the story of Joe Dispenza, this guy is basically Doctor Strange. That's what I think of when I hear Joe Dispenza. And so trying to circle back again to our purpose and our focus in life, especially nowadays, there's just so many things that are going to take us off of our focus. But really, a huge way to get in touch with your purpose is to spend a lot of time with yourself, you know, meditation, thinking about where it is that you want to go, and using those awesome visualization techniques that Sarah ran us through. That was so awesome. And then really the more you do it, I feel like you get more centered with it, the more clear it becomes. Ed Milet talks about too, like making, like laser focusing, and also describing very much in detail what it is that you want, you know.
Laser focus.
And then my forever mentor and father figure, Tony Robbins, you know, he says you have to proceed with absolute certainty in the direction that you want to go. Because the moment you start to feel hesitant, then that's when you let self-doubt come in. That's when you let the criticism come into your life. And then you start saying, maybe I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid of what other people are going to say. You know, whatever your purpose is, that's your purpose. And you drive forward for you, not for anybody else. And I think we talked about this in our first episode where we talk about accountability. You know, it's about keeping yourself accountable for what it is that you want, and that it's okay to not sever ties, but just let go of things that are not helping you get there or serving your purpose. And there will be conflict, but, you know, the best thing you can do is send out love. Send out love, come from that beautiful state. And it's almost impossible for people not to want to support you when you're in that beautiful state. But if they don't, then you learn how to be okay with it too.
Yeah. I always thought purpose was such an interesting concept, right? Like, why do we have a purpose? And I've told you guys my aunt's story, so I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
So a few years back, I can't even remember how long it's been now, but I was in South Africa, and I was doing volunteer work on a game reserve. And we were sitting around and we were on a what's it called? Not a convoy, but you guys help me out. What's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
Oh. Well, we were driving around safari. We were in a safari and we were looking around and we stopped and we stared at a bunch of an ant pile, like a really huge ant pile. I was like, this is so boring. I want to go see some lions. And he kept speaking and talking to us about these ants. And he said that there's certain ants in this pile who have poison inside of them. Not all of them, just a few of them. And whenever the ants get attacked by termites, the ants with the poison inside of them they're suicide ants because they just run up to those termites and they die. But the termites eat the poison and then the termites die. So ultimately they save their little group of ants. And when we think about that, we're not that much different from ants. When I thought about this, I thought about my husband because I always wondered, okay, he's in the military. Why would you join? Why would you want to die for your country? There's something deeply embedded in you that makes you want to serve for something greater than yourself. And it's all essential for survival. Healers are essential for survival. You know, psychologists and nurses and even business owners in certain degrees.
You just described us all.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. You know, and then there's